Hey everybody, Sive here as usual with the Forex Peace Army.com. Let's keep an eye on euro currency again. So yesterday, based on the performance that we saw on Monday, we made the suggestion that it could be possible that the upper direction is not over yet, just because of the shape of the price the market was forming. And we said let's keep an eye on the Monday gap. So if market will be able to stay above it and keep the price above the lows of the Friday, it means that it could proceed higher. In general, if we take a look at the daily chart and recall this triple to buy pattern, what the particular target might be if market keep going higher. So the minimum target, it's usual for triple to patterns, is the 30% of the whole pattern's body. It means that it's approximately 1680. So that's the minimum upward action that euro could show. It doesn't mean that it should stop here and turn down, but this is the at least the target that market should reach. So let's keep an eye on it as a just reference for possible upper performance and see what we have on lower time frames. On the 4 time frame chart, here is a lot of important information. So first of all, recall our initial ABCD pattern based on this morning star. It actually was the first pattern that we used for taking position. And we said that it's actually was the bullish context to us. It's not just the morning star here, it was also the grubber. And that was the first target. So OP retracement is done. Market has closed the gap, which is normal for euro currency, and now it's turning up again. And have a look that the target of this initial ABCD pattern stands exactly at 1675, which is very close to the 1680. It actually creates an agreement with this area. But the problem with this is that, take a look here, you have a really big resistance cluster slightly earlier. So we have this natural resistance support area, which is actually the bottom of the triangle here, and it agrees with the confidence area 1656, 1665, and it will be a really big challenge for the euro currency, especially with the performance that it shows right now. Very choppy, not very strong, to break this area. Correspondingly, if you hold the bullish position either from this area or you have taken it yesterday, think about closing of the position, or at least at some part of it, around 1660 area. So market starts testing this area. It makes sense to close at least some part of it, or maybe all position. And definitely you have to move stops to break even right now, because here's might be the background for Jordan Napoli so-called oops directional pattern. So other words speaking, this is the combination of the classical pattern. For example, in our case, this is hand shoulders and very strong Fibonacci resistance level. So, and sometimes it leads to the situation where market can't break it, can't proceed with the natural performance of the hand shoulders, fails and turn down. That's why better to not wait for XOP, or make the all preparations. If you would like to keep some part of the position, that's okay, but it has to be at the break even already, with the break even stop. And as I said, makes sense, maybe some partial profit booking around this area. Now on the hourly chart, you could see that entry yesterday was worked nice. So market just has filled the gap around 116.15 area. As we said, this is a 50% support. It stands above the lows of the previous week, not quite lows, of course. This is Friday lows. So, and speaking about this big and shorters pattern its target, take a look. It also stands in the same area, around 1692. So that's what we have currently on the ground of the euro currency. Conclusion here is as follows. Currently at this point, it's a bit too late for taking the new long position. I don't know, maybe if market will start forming here some kind of the reverse hand shoulders or small retracement, you could try to do this, but the best entry points already stands in the past. So that was around this combination where we've got this morning star retracement, we've got grubber yesterday when we have this pullback and closing of the gap. On all of these positions, you have to move stop to break even. Second point, close the part of the position around 1660 and keep, if you would like to, keep the rest for 1680. That's for the bulls. For the bears, it's not many things to do right now. you need to keep an eye on the two things. First, either completion of this ABCD, and look what will happen around 1680. I don't know, maybe here might be some release of the news information, so something that could support euro in short term. That could lead it to break it. It might happen, but I consider it as a less probable scenario, especially taking into consideration the shape of the price. It's very, well, it's not the thrusting action. It's not the type of the reversal performance. So anyway, watch for this area. If you will see signs of failure, that market can't break the 1660, dropping back below the neckline, returning back here, and especially breaking down the 1615 area, 1615 lows, that will be the signal that market's going lower, that retracement is over. So from the bearish point of view, we are watching on these two subjects. That's probably all for now. So let's see how it will turn.